Hello, everybody, and welcome. And we are live here on the channel. It's Andrew, and decided why not do another live stream? And hopefully, you can hear me and see me okay. Hope everybody's doing well. Let me just check to see if the stream is on. Should be on by now. Let's take a look. And hopefully, you can hear me and see me okay this time. I know we had some difficulty last time. So, how is everybody? It's been a long week, that's for sure, at least for me. I've been working a lot on these videos. I've got a lot of stuff coming up. Remember, you can chat in the chat. Hey, Fly Guy, how are you? Can you see me okay is the question. He's always doing a lot of good stuff on my channel, commenting, supporting the channel. Also, a Samsung Galaxy Book S user, right? And hi, Wilson, how are you? Good to see you. BSLBL, how are you? Good to see you. Good to hear, Fly Guy. Vincent, hello, how are you? So far, we got 17 people in the live stream, and as you can see, it's a little bit different this time around. I now have my camera facing me, and I have an overhead cam. So as you can see here, hope it looks okay. We're going to talk a little bit more about the Samsung Galaxy Book S. Now that I've been using it for more than 2 weeks, I've already done my unboxing video, and I've also done my review, and I will be doing some head-to-head on some very ultra-portable devices coming up this week. Anthony, how are you? What's up? Unboxing Mania from Montreal. Welcome. Okay, it's good to see everybody. We've got 19 people here in the live stream. Remember, super chats are open. That certainly helps out the channel. No pressure. But I've been using this. Let's get right to it. I've been using this, again, more than 2 weeks. I unboxed it, and a lot of people saw the video. And, of course, I did my review. And I absolutely love this device. I think it's a great portable device. I think the Snapdragon 8CX, as I mentioned in my review, is an excellent chipset for what it is. Now, don't expect to do 4K video editing on this. Don't expect to do high-end gaming, AAA gaming. This is not what this is all about. This is about taking it with you on the go, something thin and light. Now, look how fast that fingerprint scanner works. Now, yes, Wilson, I'm hopefully getting used to doing the live stream, and it's going to get a little bit better, hopefully, each time. All right, so Galaxy Book S running a Snapdragon 8CX. It has built-in LTE, always-on connectivity, and I got to say, I'm really happy with it so far, as Fly Guy can probably attest to. We'll get to which is my favorite laptop in just a little bit, Connor. But what I want to say about this is it's really surpassed my expectations since I've been using it. And what I use it mostly for is taking it on the go. I go to a lot of meetings. I'm always on the run somewhere. And I need something thin and light, which this definitely is. It's less than a kilogram. I think it's 2.1 pounds or so. And having that always-on connected LTE to me is key. Now, this is a good question by BL. I know you asked this. Is the body all aluminum, including the palm rest? I'm not sure, to be honest with you, if you can hear that. It seemed to me all metal when I first unboxed it. I know the bottom is, I mean, look how thin and light this is. It's very premium, even if this is plastic, which I don't think it is. I think it's a very thin metal, but again, don't quote me on this. And I don't know any. Samsung has not told us what it is, but it to me is a very premium. If it is plastic, fine. It doesn't get hot. That's the other thing. Who is my suit guy? This is a good question. Who is my suit guy? Well, you could probably talk to my wife about that. She picks out a lot of my clothes, but thank you. I wonder, there's another question here. I wonder if the Galaxy Book S is compatible with Xram Visual Studio applications. Again, that's the other thing we'll get into in a little bit. What's compatible, what's not compatible. But getting back to the body, I think it is metal. Again, it's so thin and light, it's hard to tell, but premium. So, sometimes you can get a device and it's plastic and it feels cheap. This doesn't feel cheap. I mean, it feels solid. There's no flex in it either. I think it is metal. But again, it's hard to tell. It's kind of weird to say, but it really is hard to tell. Okay, so the laptop, Sharky doesn't know which laptop this is. This is the Samsung Galaxy Book S. It's running a Snapdragon 8CX, a mobile processor, basically. It's like having your cell phone in your laptop, running your laptop, basically. Now, as far as the connected LTE, I get a lot of questions about which carrier I'm using. I'm actually using it with 2 different carriers. I switch out my SIM. I started with the Verizon, and that's actually that's what's in there right now. And then there's the you can use it on AT&T, T-Mobile. See, I have it on Verizon here. I don't know if you can see that. And I think that is working. It's working great as far as uploads, downloads, fast connection, fast LTE. So a lot of people are asking me, can you use it on T-Mobile? Yes, you can. I used it with my Google Fi, which uses T-Mobile, no problems. This is an unlocked modem. I believe you can use it obviously on Verizon, which is CDMA. You could also use it on GSM networks such as AT&T, T-Mobile. Yeah, it really is, Fly Guy. It really is very hard to tell what it is made of. And again, very premium. It's solid. It's not cheap feeling at all. Not at all. It's actually one of the more premium laptops I've had in a long time. Again, thin and light, as I mentioned. All right, so everybody, I hope you like this overhead cam. We're going to be using this from now on. Now, the other thing about this you're going to want to know is what programs, what applications can you use? I've been using all the programs that I've been always using. I use Chrome, but really I've been using the Edge browser most of the time. And the Edge browser on this is based on Chromium. This is the new Edge, or the Credge as they're calling it. And it's working great. I think it's well optimized, as I mentioned in the video, and it is really good. Can it run Office 365 Suite? Yes, I actually have it on here, and I can run Microsoft Word. Let's just do Word, for instance. And as you can see here, Office 365 loads great. Let me load a document here, something that's not private to somebody. It's hard for me to do it, but yes, it is working. Microsoft Word is working. I don't want to show you private documents of people. These are legal documents. Can you repair? Okay, we'll get to that in a moment. Yes, so can it run Office 365? Yes, I've run Excel on this. I've run PowerPoint. I've run Word. It all works well. And so far, no issues as far as that is concerned. Now, can you run Photoshop? The answer is yes and no. I can run the 32-bit version from 2018, which you can download from Adobe. That will work. And it is also you're able to run a lot of other apps. You can run Chrome in emulation mode. It works fine. But again, stick with the Edge browser based on Chromium. It's a very similar experience, very optimized for Windows on ARM. Now, as far as any lag or any stutter, there's no fan in this. There's no any stuttering or lag. Rinsler wants to know. None whatsoever. I'm running, again, mostly web browsing. I'm consuming media, watching Netflix, YouTube, Amazon, all work great. I've been running Microsoft Office, as I mentioned, on this, no problems. So for those type of tasks, you can definitely do it. You could play League of Legends, as I showed you in my review video. Not a problem. So for me and for my travel needs, this is the go-to device so far. I really do like it. Yes, it is fanless. There is no fan in this. It's a mobile processor. It's the Snapdragon 8CX from Qualcomm, and it's running great. You could even run certain programs. I know one person wanted me to check out Meta Editor or whatever, some kind of stocks have really taken a hit, but you can run, as you can see, this is a It's actually a 32-bit app. It's called Meta Editor. It's like a stock, to trading stocks and so forth. I'm not big on that, so I don't know. Now, you can upgrade to Windows 10 Pro, as Fly Guy has just mentioned. It's definitely doable. Obviously, you're not really limited in that regard. This is not running Windows 10S as in the past when they were releasing Windows on ARM. They were doing with the S version, which was a lockdown version of Windows. Everybody, the first thing they did, they would take it out of the box. They would immediately get that free upgrade to Windows 10 Pro. All right, so the display metrics like? Well, that's a good, interesting question. What is this display like? Let's talk about it. It's a TFT display. It's a very high-end display. It's a 1080p display that has a resolution of 1920 by 1080. So you don't need a higher resolution on a 13.3-inch display, and this is working really well. Now, as far as the brightness, again, I cannot give you the exact measurement because the software does not run. It installs on my Spider Elite, which is this software that I use to run my tests. I can't get it to run. It does install, but it doesn't work. It's not. It's the processor is the problem on that as far as compatibility. Probably, I would think that they would need to update their software to make it compatible. So it's not so much the Windows side of it. It's more maybe the manufacturer of that device. Now, as far as how bright it is, you're looking at anywhere from 350 to 400 nits. And I'm basing that on my experience with other devices when I compare the two. I will be putting this head-to-head with the HP Spectre X360, the HP EliteBook coming up, and of course, another Windows on ARM, which is the Microsoft Surface Pro X, which is a different device, of course, but it is very good. Both of them run a very similar processor. One has been made by Microsoft on the Surface Pro X in conjunction with Qualcomm, but I think they're pretty much the same chipset, just clocked at a different speed. Now, yes, emulation mode may do more faster battery drain than 64-bit apps that have been made for Windows on ARM. So yes, emulation definitely can do that. And only confusion is whether Office. I think this 365 is native, if I'm not mistaken. And the reason I say that is Microsoft wanted to make sure when Windows on ARM was released with a 64-bit version, they wanted to make sure the full suite would work. So I'm pretty sure this is native. I don't think this is running an emulation. And I think there's a way to do it. We'll maybe do it a little bit later. Well, this is a very different type of device than the X1 Carbon. As you know, if you watch my channel, you know I love the X1 Carbon. It's a great device as far as I'm concerned. It's a great productivity device with an excellent keyboard. I did the review of the 7th gen back in, do I have that here? I may not have that here. Back last year, and I will be doing the new versions as they're coming out. I know Lenovo has made a big announcement on some updates to the Yoga line. We'll talk about that very soon, and I will be reviewing those products. Surface X says, hey, AMD, hello. How is everybody doing? The typing experience, let's talk about that, Anthony. Good that you asked. Now, I actually needed about a day to get used to this keyboard. Now, the key travel is not that great. It reminds me a little bit of the 12-inch MacBook, as I mentioned, which I'm not a big fan of. But this is actually better. This is a more tactile experience, and you do get used to it. It's not the best in terms of key travel. So if you're coming from something like the X1 Carbon, it might take some time to get used to. It may take a few hours, maybe a day or so. It took me about maybe just a half to a full day. I'm totally used to it now. I'm using this all the time. Not a problem. I'm totally used to it. Could that use some more key travel? Yeah, but of course you're getting a really thin and light laptop, so there is a trade-off. Now, the other thing that I wish that maybe they can update with a software update, hopefully, give us a brighter backlight. The backlight in this is probably the worst backlight I've seen in a long time. It's just too dim. And it gives you a couple of stages, but it doesn't really get bright enough, in my opinion. I mean, it's good enough in a very dark environment. It'll light up the keys, but not that much. So it would like another couple more stages on the backlight. But that's nitpicking. You know, if they can maybe do a software update to update the weather that can get brighter, that would be great. Maybe one of the reasons they wanted to keep it dim is to maximize battery life. And by the way, let's talk about battery life. The battery life on this thing is crazy good. Again, I got 14 hours and 45 minutes on my continuous web surfing test. Now, if you're going to use LTE only, you're looking at 10 plus hours. LTE will take up more power on this. It will use more juice, as I mentioned in my review. So that is something to keep in mind. But I use it a lot when I'm in my studio. I'm using obviously Wi-Fi. When I'm in a coffee shop, I'm using it with the LTE. And one of the benefits of having built-in LTE, of course, is security. You don't want to be using public Wi-Fi, especially nowadays with all kinds of things going on. This is more locked down in terms of the LTE. And I think it's better than I definitely think it's better than using your smartphone as far as the convenience factor. It's just a lot easier to just turn it on, ready to go, always on, connected LTE. Allows you to get work done in a pinch. Yes, the battery life is definitely A++++. That's for sure, Fly Guy. Now, as far as, yes, this is the Galaxy Book S, sir. Okay. How is everybody doing tonight? Is the live stream looking okay? Let's just take a quick peek. It looks like it's okay. Here in Las Vegas, the weather has been absolutely gorgeous. It's starting to get a little bit warmer, and it is going to get hot, of course, probably very soon as the seasons change here. It just gets from really nice weather to very hot weather. Do they have LTE unlimited plans? They do. Tech for your needs. I have a family plan for my household with Verizon. I have the unlimited. It is expensive, but I do a lot of devices, and I have a few devices that we need to use. And yes, I do have unlimited, and I'm using it on the unlimited on Verizon plan. But you can get it with T-Mobile. I'm sure AT&T, Sprint, they all have it. Now, if you're outside the United States and if you somehow get this, I'm sure it will work. It's unlocked. I'm pretty sure it's unlocked because I was able to use it with the Google Fi, which utilizes T-Mobile and I believe Sprint. So you can use it outside the United States if you get this. Now, the one I have is the Verizon one. And again, I use the T-Mobile SIM, or basically a T-Mobile SIM. It's Google Fi, but it is, for all intents and purposes, is T-Mobile. Oh my God, Rinsler, it's cold in New York. That is my hometown, by the way. I am from New York, if you couldn't tell from my accent. Now, everybody tells me I look like Robert De Niro, so forget about it, you know. Fly Guy pays $20 unlimited on Verizon. That's actually really good. That's very good. That's a good price. Tally Ho Tech is in the house, and good to see you. Good friend to the channel, and you got to check out his work over at his channel. It's fantastic. If you haven't checked him out, I'm sure you have. Neil HT saying hello to Tally Ho. He's such a popular guy. Productivity wise, if you want to do some video editing, okay, so here's the deal. This is not a video editing machine. The issue you're going to have is getting the software to run. I think the processor can handle certain kind of video editing. The question is, what is the software you're going to run to video edit on this? And I don't think this is the device for that. I think it's something that I think you need an Intel processor, to be honest, because you're going to want to run Premiere Pro. You're going to want to run some other DaVinci Resolve or some other video editing software. Basic video editing is potentially there. Again, the software is going to be the issue. Will it run? Not all software has been optimized for Windows on ARM, so keep that in mind. So that's why this is, in a way, a very specialized device, and keep that in mind. Now, the touchpad is very nice. It's a glass touchpad. It's very responsive. It uses precision drivers, and that means you're going to get the very good, buttery, smooth kind of scrolling with two fingers. You could do all the gestures, as I mentioned in the video. And again, using precision drivers is something we definitely want to see. Most laptops nowadays are using them, and that's a good sign because they are the best in terms of responsiveness, scrolling, and so forth. So yes. Is it? It is unlocked. Yes, it is unlocked. As I mentioned, as Fly Guy has confirmed, definitely looks good. Tech for Your Needs, another very good supporter of the channel out there doing his thing. And thank you. The live stream, it looks and sounds good. I'm happy to hear that because we, in the last couple of live streams, there has been technical difficulties, that's for sure. This is not a content creator laptop, and it's not billed as that. This is a laptop for those that are on the go, that need to get work done, that need excellent battery life, that want to consume media on a beautiful display, watch Netflix, YouTube, Amazon, that want to listen to music, and do those kind of things on the road. And they don't want to be lugging a 4 or 5 pound laptop when they can carry a 2.1 or one less than a kilogram laptop. So that's and it's so incredibly thin. I mean, look at this. This is probably the thinnest I've ever seen a laptop right now. And again, that's one of the benefits of having a mobile processor like the 8CX, the Snapdragon 8CX from Qualcomm. As far as everything you can do on this, you can do some gaming, as I mentioned, Windows Store games. Most of them will I should say some of them will work, some won't. It's just a hit or miss kind of proposition. Again, if you're a AAA gamer, you want to connect this to an external GPU, no Thunderbolt 3 port here. And that's because this chipset doesn't support Thunderbolt 3. So this is not that kind of laptop. As far as heat, as I mentioned, it is runs very cool. That's one of the benefits, again, with that Snapdragon 8CX. And how would I compare it to a Chromebook? Well, that's a good question. I'm actually very interested in that upcoming Samsung Chromebook, which will be coming sometime in, I'm going to make that a little bigger, hopefully soon, because I checked it out at CES 2020 back in January, this past month or so, and I was able to get some hands-on time with it. It's premium. It's got an absolutely gorgeous display. It's running the Chrome OS. I don't know how you guys feel about that, and I'm expecting to review that at some point, so stay tuned for that. Build quality is so good on this. You know, Tech for Your Needs. This thing is so premium, so lightweight, but doesn't feel cheap in any way. It's so sleek looking is the way I can put it. Definitely excellent build quality. There's no flex, very little flex on this. I mean, you can maybe flex a little bit, but that's to be with any device. Again, rock solid build on this. Okay, so let's see what this one says. Fareed, do you think this is Fareed Manshai? How are you? This guy's got a good Instagram coming, good website. Do you think that this is on par with Apple's cheaper MacBook Air variant? Fareed, yes, I definitely think this is a competitor to the MacBook Air. In fact, if you saw my video, you would know that the this did very well compared to the Y processor that you'd find in the Intel Y processor that you find in the MacBook Air. And in fact, I think I like this better. I like the ability to have built-in LTE. That means you have a connection anywhere you go, and so forth. Let's see. Samsung makes the best displays. I cannot agree more, Fly Guy. They are the best. This is no exception. This display, it's a little reflective, as you can see here, but they're known to have reflective displays, but crisp, bright, 1080p, so you're not sacrificing battery life. If this had a higher resolution, then you would probably have less battery life, as you do with the Surface Pro X. And that's one of the differences between this and this Microsoft Surface Pro X. This has a lower resolution display, but you're really not sacrificing too much in terms of battery life. In fact, this does much better in battery life over the Surface Pro X. I'm going to be doing the head-to-head, so stay tuned for that. And Fly Guy agrees. Sound quality. Yes, Anthony, the sound on this is fantastic. There are speakers on the bottom on the sides. So you can see here, there's a speaker there, and then there's a speaker grill there. And The speakers sound surprisingly rich, good volume, good mids, bass. Everything sounds really good. It's a very good multimedia consumption device. So yes, very good sound. It's also got AKG tuned speakers, so they have some really rich sound. I'm very happy with them. Now, I would review. Well, I've stopped doing, and this is a little bit of an aside, I stopped doing sound tests on my videos simply because they take up a lot of time, and you don't really get you don't get an accurate portrayal of the sound in that it's very hard to do it on video, because unless you have certain headphones on, and so, unless you have everybody has the same speakers, to me it's a waste of time. What I will start doing is doing comparison videos between two different devices, so give you a little bit of an idea. I don't know, Fareed, if you can overclock this. I don't know if you can get into the BIOS. I haven't really tried, but that's a good question. Does the display have a 60 hertz refresh rate or higher? I believe it's 60 hertz. I don't think it's any higher than that. We just talked about that, Fareed. Okay, I wish I had the answer for you. What other LTE laptops would you consider? That's a good question. I would consider the Microsoft Surface Pro X, which has LTE just like this. It's running a very similar, if not the same processor, clocked at a different speed. I think it's clocked a little bit higher, and it also has a higher resolution display, hence less battery life than the Surface Pro X. So that's definitely one I would consider. The other one I would consider, I actually have with me here. Let's just put this down for a second. Yep, this has LTE. This is the HP Elite Dragonfly on the EliteBook line. And again, this has built-in LTE. This one was sent over to me late last year by HP. This is a very good device geared towards businesses, also very thin and light. It has a magnesium alloy chassis, and it to me is excellent. Also, I use this a lot. Very similar devices in terms of weight. This is the Samsung's a little bit lighter. Thickness, you can see it is definitely thicker. It's running an Intel 8th generation processor, the Core i7, versus the Samsung, which is running the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8CX. I mean, look at that. It's about half the size, I would say. Definitely noticeable. Again, one of the benefits of running a Qualcomm chip is going to be you can get thinner, lighter laptops. This has also LTE. Very good on this. There are some issues that I had with some firmware updates. It was, I think, fixed. I'm using also with Verizon SIM in this. It works really well. And one of the things I like about this also is that the SIM tray is here. You just pop it right out. Same goes for the Samsung, which is right here. Just pop it right out. Oops, pops it right out. But this also has an SD card slot or micro SD card slot for storage expansion. Now, this comes with 256 gigs of SSD storage, 8 gigabytes of RAM, working fine. I'm very, very impressed with it. Any more questions on the Samsung? Anything user replaceable? I haven't tried to open this up. I don't think it is. I'm pretty sure everything is soldered into the motherboard. And the good news is, like I said, it does have a micro SD card reader on this, in addition to having the LTE SIM slot in that place. Chandrakant Patel in the house. How are you, my friend? Good to see you. Yes, it does have biometric authentication. In fact, let me move the HP out of the way and demonstrate that and how fast it works. I think they did a good job on this. So here you have your laptop, open it up, almost instant, and look at that. Boom. I just put my finger. The power button doubles as a fingerprint scanner, and it works really well. See, we have 35 of you in the live stream. We're hitting just about 30 minutes, having a really good time. So Tom wants to know SX20 versus the HP Dragonfly. So let me close the Samsung and get that Dragonfly back. I had to give back the SX14 that I had, but it's very similar from Vio. The SX12 or this, I would go with this. This has also magnesium alloy chassis. So does the SX12 from Vio. I just like what this brings to the table in terms of build. I also like the fact that this has the LTE option. The LTE will only be available on the Vio SX12 in Japan. Excuse me. Oh boy. This is much better in terms of implementation, much cleaner, although that is going to be lighter because it's just they made that incredibly thin and light. I also like the fact that this has a touchscreen, has pen support as well. That's something that the Vio does not have. How is the keyboard typing experience? Are you Tech Freenies, are you talking about the Samsung or the HP? I'm assuming you're talking about the Samsung, right? And I said earlier that the keyboard is very shallow on this. That's one of the points that I wanted to point out. You do get used to it. Again, I wish it was a little bit deeper in terms of key travel, but yes, it is definitely something you do get used to. I have no issues with it right now. Again, I did say that I would like the backlight to be a bit brighter. Yes, that's the plan. And let me tell you a little bit of a little story about this. So as you know, I reviewed the Microsoft Surface Pro X. By the way, Fareed, why don't you plug the website? I don't know if you're ready to. He's coming out. He's got an Instagram account. If you want to plug it, everybody should go check it out. He's going to start some big things. It hasn't debuted yet, but he's going to be doing some big things with that. So stay tuned. We have a lot of stuff to talk about on that. Getting back to the Surface Pro X. All right, so here's the deal. I had it. I don't have it anymore. I'm getting it again. So here's what happened. I had it for up until about a couple of weeks ago, and I wasn't sure if I was going to do a head-to-head at that point, maybe 3 weeks ago. I had been using it up until that point, and yes, he's telling Fareed saying that it's under development. It's at Byte Insiders. If you want to check it out, I will be doing some collabs with him on that as well. So stay tuned for that. But getting back to the Surface Pro X. So interestingly enough, I didn't have it anymore, so I didn't have it to compare it to this. But I did speak to Qualcomm. Qualcomm actually reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to review different devices. And I said, do you have a Surface Pro X? Because I want to revisit that and put it in a comparison with the Samsung Galaxy Book S. So I'm expecting that to come in very soon. So stay tuned for that. But I almost wasn't going to do it, but just coincidentally, Qualcomm reached out to me. All right, so that's good. And Fly Guy, yes, it's going to be exciting. What Fareed has in terms of that Byte Insiders, it's going to be very good. I got a little taste of it. He told me what's going to happen with that. It's going to be really great. Okay, so Midwest Guy. We have Fly Guy. We go to Midwest Guy. I ordered mine today from Sprint after I heard your recommendation, Samsung Book S. You're going to love it. I mean, I can't speak for everybody. I can only speak for myself and my experience with the device. I just have been so thrilled with this, how well it's performed, how great it's been for me in terms of connectivity, in terms of the display, the sound, the battery life. It really, to me, checks all the boxes. So Midwest Guy, I think you're going to be happy. But again, everybody has their own opinions. So, you know, and it is in India, it is morning. So good morning. Obviously, Chandra Kant, as I said to you earlier, hello, but I'm going to actually tell you good morning in India. All right. Sharky165, Burns, Android tablets are basically dead. So he's answering Burns' question. I don't know. I think Samsung's going to be coming out with something very soon. So stay tuned for that. I know Apple with the iPad is dominating the market, and they're going to be coming out with a micro LED iPad mini, from what I understand, coming very soon. So stay tuned for that, I'm sure. We got 37 people in the live stream. Remember, I am open for super chats. Anything helps the channel, helps me buy more devices. Yes, I am working with more brands. They are sending me stuff now, so it's a lot better. But and I do have some laptops coming from Asus. Finally, I did make contact with them, and they are sending me some stuff to review. So stay tuned for that. I'm very excited to add Asus to the stable. So right now I got Dell, HP, Lenovo, Asus, and Acer also is going to be coming into the fold. So I'm going to be getting a lot of good stuff coming, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, it's really good. Handquake in the house. How are you, my friend? Um, Qualcomm is good. I love Qualcomm, what they're doing with their chipsets. I think Intel's got things to worry about here. Not only AMD, not me, but the chip. But I think Qualcomm is making strides here. And I think Intel should take notice and maybe be a little bit worried. Yes, don't forget to hit the like button, because that is important to help people see it. Now, by the way, the last live stream did well for me. It got almost 1,400 views, which isn't bad. So that's good. So maybe we can do even better. We got 39 people in the house here today. Let's see. Okay, I have a Note 10, so answering the phone calls on my Samsung would be nice. They have that Flow app. I haven't really done much with that. Now, speaking of the Note 10, ladies and gentlemen, now I didn't review the Note 10. I went to the event back in Brooklyn back in August, and I did take a look at this device there. And of course, I wanted to check out the Note 10 Lite. Excuse me. I mean, the Note 10 and the Pro. And I did, but I didn't review it. It was too expensive. I wasn't getting the devices from Samsung, so I decided, you know what? I'm going to skip it. And I would concentrate on the Samsung Galaxy Tab S6, which was the tablet that I was very interested in checking out. And I did, and it did really well on the channel. And this was the other thing I was interested in that was announced back in August. And I'm glad I got this into the studio, because this has been really great. Now, I am getting, supposedly this weekend, I'm getting the Note 10 Lite. Now, this is a mid-ranger from Samsung, and it has the S Pen. I'm a big fan of the S Pen. If you watch my channel, you know that. This, by the way, does not use the S Pen. Would have kind of been nice, I guess, even though it is a clamshell. No pen support on this, which is, again, a little bit of a shame. But the Note 10 Lite does use the S Pen, and I'm getting that into the studio, so I will be getting that. The Zenbook Pro Duo. I did review that, Chandrakant, on my channel a few months ago. Loved it. I couldn't keep it. It was too expensive. But one of my favorite and most innovative type of devices. I do have a lot of stuff coming from Asus on the way. I just made contact. They reached out to me, and now we are going to be getting review units. And again, let me make the disclaimer. If I get a review unit, I'm not being paid by them. I'm not being sponsored by them. And so you don't have to worry about being biased or in any way. I give the laptop back. I don't get to keep it. And they don't see the video before I release it. So just keep that in mind. Handquake, yes. Qualcomm did reach out to me, and we're going to do some stuff on the channel through them. So we'll see. This has been a very interesting month, February 2020, here on my channel, Handquake, because I now made contact with Asus, Qualcomm, of course, Acer also. So a lot of new stuff, in addition to HP, Samsung, Dell, Lenovo, the usual companies that I like to work with, and they're all excellent in their own way. Yes, this was huge news, because the Asus Zenbook 15 is something I'm definitely planning on, with the new processors, updated latest processors from Intel. The 14, the 15-inch, I did talk to them about that. I'm hoping to get that very soon. They have some Chromebooks that I'm interested in. They want to send me as well, and I will take a look at them. I don't want to tell them no. So yes, Freak the Precog. Yes, good thing. Has Samsung integrated Quick Share, its AirDrop alternative, in its computers, create a sense of community? By the way, that's a good question, Fareed. Let me take a look real quick. Just give me a second here. Okay, so Quick Share. That's a good question. I didn't really check that. Let's see. Quick Quick assist. I don't know what that is. I don't think it has quick share on this. It would be nice. Again, this is a more mobile device, I guess. But if it was something like AirDrop to make a seamless experience, I know that Samsung had the Samsung Flow for a couple of years now. I don't know if it's on this one either. Let me take a look. Yeah, the Samsung Flow is on this. I didn't set it up yet. I actually will test that out. I'm going to do another follow-up video very soon on this. Again, head-to-head videos coming on some of the ultra portables, including the Surface Pro X. Okay, Handquake wants to know, do you think that the Microsoft Duo Android phone thing will come in early? That's the reports I'm hearing. Media is hinting it will. I am too. I don't know. Oh, that's another thing I forgot to mention. I spoke to Microsoft, and I had a very good conversation with them. So I can't talk too much right now about some things, but yes. So things are really happening on the channel. I can't believe I forgot to mention that. But again, I really can't talk too much about it yet. But something with Microsoft, yes, is going to be happening. As far as whether the Duo and the Neo are coming out early, that's the reports, but I don't know. That's a good question. My guess is probably not. I think the holiday season was what they were targeting, and I don't think they're going to deviate too much from that, although you never know. That would be nice to get it earlier. Definitely want to check those devices out, that's for sure. Fly Guy, Samsung has released some great products lately, absolutely, including what I have here, the Galaxy Buds Plus, which I received as a free gift when I went to the event back February 8th or February 11th, whatever it was, in San Francisco. So I'm really liking them. They're here. No, these they're over here. Okay, so these have been really fantastic. Very good, much improved over the first generation product. Earbuds, they fit in the ear. They come with different earbuds that you can ear tips rather. Ear fins, and I got to tell you, it's working really great. I've been absolutely loving these. I also love these. These are the Sonys that everybody knows about, the WMF 100 or whatever they call them. These are fantastic. These have been out for about 6 to 8 months, whatever, but these have been really good. So yeah, Samsung's making a lot of great products. As you can see here, not this, but this is very good, by the way, the Sonys. The battery life on these are insane, and I agree with you. Evertronic, absolutely insane. The battery life, they're claiming, I think, 11 hours on these. I think I'm getting more than them, actually. I did an unboxing. I didn't edit the video yet, and I'm still doing I might do a review on it. I'm not known. I do some earbud reviews, but they do. Yes, they're not as seamless as Fareed. They're not as seamless as the Apple earbuds, as the AirPod Pros and the AirPods, but it's actually very similar. They're very similar in terms of connectivity, and the connection has been very good. I actually like the sound better on these, believe it or not. They form a really nice seal in the ear, and they also have a really good app with it that you can get it for both, I think, Android and of course iOS now. So it's working really well. I connect these to my Samsung Galaxy Book S with no problem. They connect really well. It's a good combination together. So yes, they do work well. I'm very happy with these. So I'm glad I got them. Well, I'm glad they gave them to me, but I would actually go out and buy them at $149. They're definitely worth it. Okay, so I want to talk about something for just a moment. I don't believe they have active noise cancellation. I think they have ambient noise settings in it that certainly help. And I think they fit so good in the ear. They form a nice seal. So the sound is very good as well. They get pretty loud also, which is something I don't like with the original AirPods. They just, to me, don't get loud enough. So I don't know about the AirPods Pro, but this definitely gets loud enough. And my dog is going crazy right now. I think we have somebody at the door. Okay, so I'm also doing Amazon Live now. I did my first one last week. I was a little bit low key on it. I'm still getting the kinks ironed out of it, of course. And so I will be doing another one, I think, tomorrow night. You could just go to Amazon Live. Just go to Amazon Live, just search on Google. And once you're in there, it's almost like the home shopping network kind of thing. And just look for me under electronics, AMD Tech on there. And I had a blast doing it. I had, I think, 4,000 views or something to that effect. So I'm going to be doing some great deals on Amazon. So if you want to check it out, I'll be going more in depth, very similar to what you're seeing now, but I'm going to be talking about Amazon specific products, such as, well, products you can buy on Amazon, not just by Amazon, but more of what you can buy on Amazon, because there's some good deals on there, and I'm going to do some hand-picked deals. So check it out. I should be doing one tomorrow. I will be. So make sure you follow me on my social media, Andrew Mark David, or AMD Tech. You can find me on all the platforms. Does the Galaxy Book S have DeX? You don't really need DeX because this is a laptop, in my opinion. Is there an app on? That's a good question. DeX. Yeah, it does have DeX. You know what? I never realized that. So it says here, let me show you guys. Let me put these out of the way. It says to start DeX, connect your phone to your computer using a USB cable. A driver needs to be downloaded. Okay. Again, hopefully everything will install on this processor. Yeah, so it looks like it does have some DeX capability here. I'll just see what it does. If it does have it, then great. So it connects to your phone to using your computer using USB cable. I don't want to do that right now because I got to look for a cable and so forth. But it looks like it has some sort of DeX connectivity. I might do a separate stream on that if it looks like something worthwhile. Let's see. So while that's installing, I don't know why it won't minimize. Let's go back to the Galaxy Plus. Do not have Google. Yeah, it does not. But I got to tell you, they form a really nice seal in the ear canal, and it sounds fantastic. They really are. I'm so surprised. You know, when we were leaving the event, they gave everybody one of these. You know, I know a lot of people were rushing to get reviews out on them. I know El Jefe does them. If you check out El Jefe, I know he does those. Does a lot of earbuds and so forth. I don't normally do them. I might, if you guys want me to do a review on them, I will. I've done some sponsored videos. I've done some non-sponsored videos. I actually like earbuds, and I use quite a bit of them. Like I said, the Sonys have been really fantastic. It's a bigger case, but battery life on these and the options on these in terms of equalizer and all the app that it comes with, fantastic on the Sony. So we're going to figure out this DeX situation here. A new version of DeX is available. Okay. All right. I'm not going to play around with this too much right now. Let's see what it does in the background. Let's take some more questions. Yes, I agree. Tech Free needs El Jefe and GameSki, great audio channels. Highly recommend them as well. Tech Free needs, definitely, you are correct on that. The new Buds battery improvement is insane. Like I said, these things have been really, really good in terms of battery life. I can't talk about any of this, so I'm going to go to the next question. Okay. Any heating issues? Are you talking about the Samsung? Because no, I have not had any heating issues, Fareed. I'm assuming you're talking about this. So no heating issues on the Samsung Galaxy Book S. Very well cooled. They did a good job in terms of the thermals. Okay, so it looks like we have 38 of you. We've hit 49 minutes, a little bit more. Good to see everybody. I'm so glad to be able to do this. So the live stream is looking a lot better than it did last time, I think. And I think this is definitely, we'll see if this DeX thing, we're going to get this DeX thing going here. It's installing a bunch of updates. I don't know what's going on here, but we'll find out. So does anybody want to see a review on these? I know they've been reviewed probably to death already. The Samsung Galaxy Buds Plus, I can do it. I did filmed the unboxing part of it. I did part of the review already. I just have to finish it. But I have a lot of more pressing stuff coming up. So hopefully I'll find some time. So, all right, let's talk about this. Note 20 or Fold 2. I'm a big Fold fan. If you saw my video, I bought I don't have it in front of me again. Fold, I bought it on Amazon renewed, which is cost me about $1,400 and $1,500, $1,600 with tax. It's now cheaper if you go there now to get it. It's a fantastic device, and I am definitely looking forward to the Fold 2. I'm more of a proponent of that type of device than the Flip. The Note 20, I'm definitely going to be interested in, of course, coming up probably in July, I guess, if everything goes according to plan with Samsung, I'm sure. Traveling Kites, appreciate your reviews. Thanks for spending time with us. I appreciate you guys checking out my channel. The channel just hit 77,000 subscribers, I think, yesterday. And we are growing. I'm 23,000, less than 23,000 away from 100,000 subscribers, which of course means a silver play button. But that's not why I'm doing this. I'm doing it for you guys. I'm doing it because I love to do this. And I'm doing it because this is something I do love to do. Tech Free needs Galaxy Buds versus the Samsung. Thinking about doing that. Again, if you guys want to see it, I'll do it. I'm more of a laptop guy, but I'm trying to branch out a little bit. But in this day and age, you got to niche down, I guess. Guess that's what they're saying. So we'll see. 40 people in the house. Okay. Evertronic, keep up the good work. For you, you're more interested in Microsoft Neo or the Surface Book 3. I'm interested in both. The Neo in the sense that it's a different kind of device we haven't seen from Microsoft, and the Book 3 as I am a big fan and proponent of that form factor. I reviewed the Surface Book, the original. I still have it here somewhere. The Surface Book 2, and I definitely plan to do the Surface Book 3. Again, I spoke to Microsoft. I can't tell you what I spoke to them about, but there are some exciting stuff coming, so just stay tuned. So how is everybody doing? I mean, this is so much fun, of course, to do a live stream and to have less technical difficulties than last time. Just checking the live stream. I'm going to get better. My connection is not going to be it's not the greatest here in my house. So bear with me as we iron out some of the difficulties. But if you just tuning in, I now have an overhead cam, as you see here. So now I will do some live unboxings if that's something you want to see. I'll start doing some live reviews in a sense, because that's always a lot of fun, and to do more product in-depth reviews and in-depth looks at products with this overhead setup. You know what? It's good. You know, I'm like to be able to get in touch with my community and just to talk to you guys, because we all love this kind of stuff, right? Okay, this is something sorry, normal. Okay. Sorry that you're normal. No, I don't know about that. Any work on the Galaxy Book Flex? I'm definitely going to review the Flex and the Ion when they are released, or when I can get my hands on it. Right now, I cannot, or not yet at least. So I'm working on it. So bear with me. Definitely want to check those out. Yeah, I'm going to be doing a lot more live stuff. Again, not only here on YouTube, on Amazon Live. So that should be interesting. I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. So I don't want to, I'm just trying to get this Dex to work here, everybody. Okay, so welcome to Dex. I've read this. Let's see what this Dex is all about on the Surface Book X. To start Dex, I don't have a cable with me here, so maybe we'll do a separate stream on this, but I'll find out. I'll let you guys know what Dex is on the Surface Book X. Which one is it? It's the Surface Book S. We will be doing a head-to-head with the Microsoft Surface Pro X. Yep, I agree. Those will be interesting. I agree, Fly Guy. I take it you work for an airline, if I'm not mistaken. I have a good friend that used to work in an airline and so forth. She still does, I believe. So, okay. Oh, really? Handquake says I may be better live. I don't know. The first couple of live streams, I didn't feel so comfortable, to be honest. Trying to get the technical side of it worked out. It's not as easy as it looks, and it's still not to anywhere by the quality. I need to get the camera straightened out. I'm glad I have this overhead cam now, but yeah, thank you. I'm glad you like it. I'm going to start doing them on a weekly basis. I think Friday night, we could do like a Friday night live kind of thing. Now I'm on the West Coast, so 7 p.m. for me is probably the best time, but I know it may be late or early depending where you are in the world. We got 42 of you in the house, so that's good. Let's make this a thing, okay? I'm open to super chats to help out the channel, of course. So if you do have a super chat, I will put your comment to the forefront, of course. No, you don't have to. I mean, I'll answer all your questions the best I can. So according to Sharky, the Fold beats the Note. More multitasking on a bigger display. The S Pen, Note only makes sense if you use the S Pen very frequently. So I agree, and I'm hoping at some point we will see a pen-based Note. Pen-based Fold, or a Fold that has an S Pen. I think they're probably working on that technology to be able to have it on the Fold. I know it has the POLED display, or the plastic OLED display. Would be great to have a pen on it, but again, I don't know the durability aspects of it. But with that size of the Fold, I think it would make for a great note-taking device, or it would be fantastic. But I am in the Fold camp like you, Sharky, for sure. All right, guys, any other questions? Right now we're at 38 people. We're coming up on an hour. So I may do a head-to-head. So what did we learn today? We learned that I might do a Samsung Galaxy Buds Plus review and maybe a head-to-head with the Sonys. They are very good. Both of them. I use both of them so far. I'm really liking them. And you could probably pick these up on sale somewhere, maybe on B&H Photo. These are $149. I think I got these on sale somewhere. I can't remember how much I paid. I think I paid $170 or $180. I think they're like $200, I think, normally, or something to that effect. I can't be certain. I could look it up, but definitely both excellent choices, the Sonys and the Samsungs. Yes, I do. Do I use the X1 Extreme Gen 2, or do you prefer the OLED or the 4K matte version? I love the OLED just because of the way it looks. Probably the more practical is the 4K matte, of course. I've checked out both, as you know, and they're both great. They both have their pluses and they have their minuses. OLED is great in terms of the visual aspect, the aesthetics, but of course, you're going to take a hit on battery life. If you want better battery life, go with the 4K matte. Less reflections, of course, as well. There was some controversy with the OLED on the X1 Extreme Gen 2. There's Reddits out there on that. I got a lot of comments on my video that it's not a good implementation by Lenovo. I had no issues with it in terms of the OLED, and I'm actually a big fan of it, but I could see where some people think it's not the best implementation. I'm not going to get into it here now, but there are whole Reddits on this. I'm a big fan of both. If I had to choose, I probably would just choose the OLED just because it looks so good. I mean, it's hard to go. Once you do an OLED display, it's hard to go to another display. And now this is a TFT panel on the Samsung Galaxy Book S. Previous Galaxy Book devices, they went with an OLED. I know the Book 2 and the original Galaxy Book had the OLED displays. This doesn't have an OLED display, but I'm glad they didn't go with an OLED display, only simply because you're getting better battery life with this. And it's a very good TFT panel display. It uses AFFS. I can't remember what it stands for, but it definitely is good technology, gives you wide viewing angles and wide color gamut, and it doesn't disappoint, that's for sure. Let's see what this is. 3 years from now, top 2, Apple, Samsung, Huawei. Huawei's an interesting also. Top 2, Apple or Samsung, Huawei. Who knows? You know what? Who knows the way things are going? Apple could fall from grace, so to speak. Samsung can take over. Huawei could make a comeback in the sense that they make some great devices. And I'm dying to get my hands on that Mate X S, which is the updated foldable that they just released. No Play Store on that. I'm sure you can sideload it, hopefully somehow. But yes, you do have to see the OLED in person to see the difference. It's hard to do it on video. I tried to do my best when I compared the two, but you really have to see it in person. It's something pretty special. Did I mention the price of the laptop? All right, let's talk about that right now. You didn't miss anything, Traveling Kites. $9.99 here in the US. You can pick it up on Verizon. You can, I think, do payments, I guess, like you would a mobile phone if you don't want to pay all of that up front. They were having some specials. I think you can get $100 credit on another device as well. You can trade in devices with Samsung. If you have like an iPad or something you don't use anymore, they'll give you $200-300 for that. I don't know if I would do that because I don't think you're getting the true value of it. But yeah, this is retailing for $9.99, $1,000 US. It's only released here in US. I'm not sure about international releases. I know that a lot of people have asking me, when is this coming to Europe? When is this coming to other places around the world? I think somebody in Dubai asked me, when is this coming out? So we'll have to see. Here in the United States, it is available on Verizon, Sprint, AT&T. You can use it. You could also use it on T-Mobile. I was able to use it on Google Fi because that uses a T-Mobile network, so I was able to use that. So yeah, I'm very happy with it. $9.99. It does great battery life, great display, great processor, and great build. So that's really got everything, and great speakers. So everything's checked as far as I'm concerned. It's a great device. I'm very happy with it. Down to 31 of you. Am I losing you guys? Let's see. Okay, so we're coming up. We're over an hour. I don't know if we're gonna call it a night. Let's see. Fareed has a question. Who is this laptop geared towards? The average person, or even the people who getting into the pro consumers game? Fareed, this is, if you're talking about the Samsung that I have here, this is geared toward, in my opinion, of course, the road warrior. And when I say the road warrior, I'm talking about the person that does a lot of traveling, that wants something thin and light, that can get productivity work done on the road, that'll last all day, that'll last a transatlantic flight on an airplane, that will be good for content creation, consumption, limited content creation, and this is really not what that's about, but wants to be able to watch Netflix, YouTube, and the like, and have a good typing experience, even though I think it's a bit shallow, but you get a full laptop experience in terms of the form factor. So that's who I think this is geared towards. It's also a great secondary device, although a very expensive one at $1,000, but I definitely think having that always-on connected LTE is a differentiator in my book for not only convenience, but security. Again, you don't want to connect to public Wi-Fi that's not secure, and I wouldn't risk it going to a local cafe and using the open Wi-Fi there. Who knows who's lurking, who's doing what to people's private, to their laptops and so forth. I would rather just connect with the LTE. It's more secure. Nothing's 100% secure, of course, but it's more secure, and that's who I think this is for, that road warrior. Take a little bit of water. Okay, so let's see what else we have here. Let's move more questions. Does the new Samsung Chromebook coming is going to have LTE option? Good question, Ricardo. I'm not sure. I hope it does. I think, I'm a big proponent of having the option, at least, for LTE or always on connected devices, and I'm a big proponent of them. Not everybody sees the value. I see the value. I think it's fantastic. Yeah, maybe I'm paying a little bit more a month for the connection, for that SIM card. But you know what? You're carrying your phone, but this allows you to do so much more in a lot of ways. Is the HP Spectre 15 going to be delayed from March because of coronavirus? I think we're going to see a lot of devices delayed because of the coronavirus. I hope not. I hope this thing gets contained. I hope that everybody stays safe and this doesn't become a bigger problem than it already is. But everybody just take the necessary precautions. There's more to life than electronics, of course, and consumer electronics. Our lives are at risk here, and we need to stay safe. All right, so let's see. All right, so any other questions while we're here? I'm going to do a live stream if you want more stuff. I will do something, I believe, tomorrow on Amazon. I'm going to do my best picks of great deals right now. Could be fun. It should be fun. Axel RC says, I think I would just buy a Windows 10 because before anything, my Windows 7 gets viruses, even with PC pit stop. I agree. It's, I think Windows 10 end of life. I don't know if they extended it again or not. I know they came up on that. It's already long in the tooth. It's time to upgrade to Windows 10. I think Windows 10 is really good, especially security-wise. It's a lot better than Windows 7. This has been a good live stream tonight. I'm really happy. How do you guys like it? Just let me know in the comment section. Okay, let's see. Any other comments? Okay, you look like... I'm almost afraid to put this on. Let's see. I think you look like a younger Mandy Patinkin more than De Niro. A lot of people say I look like De Niro, Mandy Patinkin. I don't know. Whatever. But there doesn't go a week or a few days where I don't get a comment, oh, this device was reviewed by Robert De Niro. Okay, he's one of my favorite actors, so how can you go wrong? One of my favorite films of all time is Goodfellas, so... I don't have a release date on the Galaxy Book Flex. I think it's going to be soon, but you know, with Samsung, you never know. This was supposed to be released a long time ago. This was announced back in August of 2019. It got really delayed, and we just got it, you know, this past month. But I don't know when the Flex or the Ion are going to be released. I know a lot of people ask me, and I've reached out to Samsung. I haven't heard back from them yet, so hopefully sooner rather than later. Yes, that is a classic, Fly Guy. It's one of my favorite movies. I like Martin Scorsese as far as directors. He was excellent with Casino. I thought The Irishman was okay. A little bit long, but it was good. I thought but Goodfellas is one of my favorite movies of all time. I'm also a big Quentin Tarantino fan. I like Pulp Fiction. I liked Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So it's, you know, he's been really good. Yeah, that would be great. 69 watt hours. I expect good battery life on that. This is good. Go get... That's good. Now, you know, if you watch Goodfellas, you know the reference. Go get your freaking Shine box. You're not going to bust out my party. Anyway, Casino is definitely a classic as well. Great movie, Casino. That's with Sharon Stone in that. Of course, Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, and a whole bunch of others. We could talk about anything you want, by the way. We don't have to talk about laptops. We could talk about movies. We could talk about anything you want. Thank you, Anthony. Good to see you. Good to hear from you. Good. So anybody want to talk about anything? Let's see. I appreciate your reviews. I appreciate that, Mayar. I really, really do appreciate that. It means a lot to me. You know, it's funny because when you create these videos, I'm here in my studio. It's a very interesting experience. You know, it's a lonely experience, believe it or not, even though I reach millions of people potentially. It's a very, it's a very solitary experience. And it's kind of weird. So when I go to events like I did at the Samsung Unpacked in San Francisco this past month, it was very interesting to get to meet other creators who also go through a lot of the same experiences in this creator world that we're in, making videos, you know, the different aspects of it, the production aspects, the business side of things, the the marketing part of it, it all comes into play, and it's hard to talk to other people. You do speak to people on Twitter, you speak to people on the different platforms, on Instagram and so forth, but it's nothing like meeting somebody in real life. That's for sure. I'm hoping to do some more collaborations as well. All right, so we're at an hour and 10 minutes. I think we're going to call it a night. I'm happy to spoke to you, Mark. Thank you, Axel. Thank you. Coming by. I'm going to do this. I think I'm just trying to figure out what the best time. I think Friday nights are good. I like Friday nights. It's a good night to, I think, do it. And I want to start doing it maybe hour or longer, depending on how things go. But I think this was a really good live stream. So I think I'm going to sign off in about a minute. I'll answer one more question here. What hardware do I use to edit? I actually edit on an iMac, 2017 iMac, 5K iMac. I use Final Cut Pro 95% of the time. I do use Premiere Pro for certain things, but for the most part, I use Final Cut Pro. Thank you, Fly Guy. Thanks for coming into the chat. Oops, where are you? There you go. Thank you for being a big supporter of the channel in terms of commenting on my videos. It means a lot. It helps the algorithm, people. You hit the like button. Don't forget to hit this like button. If you want more videos coming up, I have a lot of good stuff on the way. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. So I'm going to call it a night here, and we will pick it up again. I will be doing, I think, a live stream tomorrow on Amazon Plus. I'm trying to develop that as well. So make sure you check me out. I will make sure you follow me on my social media. You can find me on Andrew Mark David or AMD Tech on YouTube, of course. You can also find me on Twitter, Andrew Mark David, at Andrew Mark David. You can find me on Instagram and, of course, Facebook. I'm always there. Okay, so we're going to call it a wrap. I'm glad you all enjoyed the live stream. I hope you enjoyed this overhead camera that I have now set up. We're going to be doing live unboxings. We're going to do some live reviews. It's going to be some interesting stuff coming up. So I'm going to sign off here. And until the next video, this is Andrew from AMD Tech, and I'll see you in the next video.